What is up everyone? Today we are going to be taking a little look at this Power Mac G4 Quicksilver, cleaning it up a little bit, making a couple of changes ready so that I can sell it on eBay. My goal is to list it today and to make this video today, so hopefully nothing goes wrong. I believe this machine is fully working, I have tested it. This Quicksilver donated one part to me, and that was the front power LED and power button board. Since then I've managed to find another one, so here it is. We're going to be plonking this in today because this poor machine doesn't have a power button, but it will once we put this in, and putting this cover back and making the machine fully stock and original once more, ready for a new owner, because I don't need a Quicksilver. I have a Power Mac G4 NDD, and of course I have my Power Hack G4 Quicksilver, and that'll do me absolutely fine. And of course I got a G3 to play around with as well, so I don't need another one of these hanging around. So the machine appears to have a hard drive and some RAM in it. I don't think I changed that configuration at all. If I can find some more RAM to put in it for sale, that would be great. I'll see how much time I have later to dig through my stuff. I should have maybe a couple of sticks or something to put in there to bring it up a little more. It's probably got about 256 megs in it. In terms of the other specs of the machine, this is a single 800 megahertz Quicksilver. That was one thing I was gutted about when I was doing the Power Hack G4. Out of all the machines that I gathered together to build the Power Hack G4, they were all 800 megahertz Quicksilvers. I was hoping for something a little bit more exciting or something different to show off, but nevertheless, this is still a fantastic machine, and anyone that wants a Power Mac, this is an ideal one. Also, as you guys can see, we've got some very annoying tape residue that I'm going to have to work on getting off today. That is probably going to be the most tedious part of the process. But first off, before I bother doing any of that, we're going to go through all of the hardware and also check the operating system. This should have Tiger in it, so it shouldn't need another install, but we'll double check everything, test the optical drive, test everything out, make sure it's all working. And yeah, basically restore this Quicksilver ready for a new owner. So without further ado, we're going to dive straight in and take a little look at this power button board. So as you guys can see, I've managed to get you a nice little angle of the front power button area here. You guys can see that this black thing at the bottom of the frame here is the speaker. I kept that in, there was no need to take that out. But all this white stuff here, these white bits of plastic, this big top one is actually the power button and where the LED shines through. As you guys can see, there's a little plastic extension on it, and that's what actually taps the button on the power board itself, because you can see there that the LED is next to an actual button. So it's a fairly simple process. You literally stick the board on like this. Ooh, hang on. Plugging it in would be a really good start. I didn't take the ribbon cable out or anything. There is still a ribbon cable here, as you guys can see. So yes, let's start by plugging that in. Of course, we won't be going very far without plugging that in. There we go. And then putting the board in place right up here. And the only slight drawback to doing this sort of work inside a Power Mac is because of the oven door design. It can be quite difficult leaning over the motherboard to do this. And of course I'm doing this blind at the moment so that I can leave space for the camera to be able to see what's happening. But try and line this up in the correct place. I might just look at the camera to help me out if I struggle further with it. In fact, I believe that is in place there, folks. That could be in place right there. As you guys can see on the camera screen right here, it takes a screw in that corner and a screw in this top corner over here. Now I managed to keep one screw, but I've lost the other one, so that is a bit of a shame. We'll have to screw hunt to get the other corner screwed in, but just putting a screw in for guide purposes at the moment. There we go everyone, after a little bit of a tight fumble around there, you can see we have one screw in. It's not fully tightened yet, but I do need to find a screw for that other corner. Apologies for the slight angle change, guys. I just went off to go screw hunting, and I have come back with a screw that I think is going to fit almost perfectly in there. Let's give it a whirl. There we have it. Fantastic. So that is not going anywhere. Let me give the power button a jab. Perfect. It is actually activating the button. There we go. Screw hunting over. It's time to put on this cover. Now this cover has a handy little cutout right here for the ribbon cable that lines up You've got 3 notches here, they push in, this whole thing then just pushes into place. It should be relatively simple and straightforward. It just clamps in and snaps in. There you go. Job done. That ribbon cable is coming out of that hole. It's not trapped anywhere, and that is not going anywhere. That's how easy that is. That covers up the speaker and the entire power board assembly. So that is done. An extremely simple process. So here we have the Quicksilver setup with its new power button and LED board. It's plugged into keyboard, mouse, monitor, power, audio for a bit of fun, and also network, also for a bit of fun, just so that we can test absolutely everything. So without further ado, let's boot her up in 3, 2, 1, go. The bong did come through very quietly there, guys. I had my amp turned down by the looks of it, so that's really good. The LED is lighting up, the power button worked, and the machine appears to be booting, which is great. Display has signal, and any second now, there we have it. The Apple logo has appeared. Now I can hear the hard drive, but I have heard louder. It sounds pretty good. I can't hear that horrible whining noise, so it should be a little bit of a newer drive than some that I have sent out in the past with these machines. I can hear it seeking, but I can't hear it spinning, so that's good. It's generally a really nice quiet machine, but a lot louder than my Power Hack. Quicksilvers aren't the loudest Power Macs to begin with, but I managed to make my my Hackintosh really quiet in this case, which I'm still pleased about. But yeah, this is booting up into macOS 10 Tiger, I believe, and if it needs any updates or whatever, of course, as part of the service, I will do that. But definitely the most needed thing for this system is the case clean, just so that we can see what's dirt and what's scratches. But before doing that, I need to check all of the hardware to make sure it's worthwhile. Progress here, we've got the blue screen. I hope it boots. I did have one of these that wouldn't go past the blue screen here. I don't think this was it, but it could have been. No, it's still seeking from the drive. I can hear it. We have a mouse cursor, but this is a problem that can occur. I'm going to leave it like this for a minute to see if it boots up to the desktop. It may just be a little bit slow. So I'm going to boot this thing up while holding the mouse button. I may need to get an Apple mouse to do this. Sometimes it can be fussy, but sometimes you can get lucky. So I'll just hold this mouse button and pray that there's a DVD drive in here. It's no big deal if there isn't, because I've recently burnt 4 CDs for a CD copy of Tiger for my iBook. But hopefully this will be a DVD drive. There we go. Fantastic. Oh, there's already a CD in here. What's this? Ha! Wow! I left my copy of Harry Potter in here. That may be the issue. Let's see if it'll boot without Harry Potter in there. That is my copy of Harry Potter, folks. I must have left it in there from the previous, the video that I did on this when I got it. Okay, so I've sat here waiting for a good 6 minutes or so, and nothing's happening, so I am going to reinstall the OS. I know there are various fixes you can try without completely reinstalling for this whole blue screen thing. It is a Tiger, primarily a Tiger problem, I think. I don't think this is a thing anymore, to be perfectly honest, with modern versions of macOS 10, but it's probably better to completely reinstall anyway, for data reasons, etc, etc. But I'm holding down the Option key here to get into the boot menu and hoping that this optical drive will recognise a DVD. I am now of the feeling that it won't. But it has. There it is. macOS 10 install DVD. Thank God for that. You can't use that. This is one weird thing about PowerPC. You go into the boot menu like this, and obviously it's designed a little different than the Intel one, but your mouse cursor doesn't appear for a little while. It often takes longer than that, but I'm quite impressed by that. So yeah, let's boot from the DVD and erase the drive and reinstall Tiger, because why the heck not? And also this will give us an excuse to see if software update is still supported properly by the download links necessary from the Apple website, because I know from recent experience with my iBook Panther no longer properly updates through software update, which is definitely a mark of progression and leaving the old OSs behind. But a link and a bond that has been surprisingly stable for the longest time now, so it'll be interesting to see if the Tiger one is still there. But I assume booting from this DVD is going to take a while, so I shall resume in a second. That didn't take half as long as I thought it was going to, so that is good. A good sign. This system works fine. It was just having a bit of a quibble back there. Continue. Agree. Now, let's go in and erase the drive. And I tell you what we'll do as well, is we'll go and look at the full specs from in here as well. Whoops. Yeah, well done, Tom. That was wrong. Startup disk. Disk utility. Gosh, concentration is needed. I just saw the little hard drive icon and jabbed away with my mouse carelessly there, folks. This is an important thing. I need to be more careful. Okay, so here we have good old disk utility. Surprisingly, even Tiger disk utility is 1 bazillion times better than disk utility included in the latest version of macOS 10, which is utter junk. Sorry, the optical drive has got a little hard drive icon next to it, so that's a bit confusing. But yeah, let's erase this, and we're going to call it Macintosh HD. I'm struggling with speaking a little bit, folks, because I've got a wisdom tooth coming through, so my mouth isn't actually closing properly. We're going to leave the OS 9 drivers ticked, because who knows what the future owners of this machine want to do with it. And this is a great machine for classic mode, or OS 9 in general. So there we go. Let's close out disk utility. That is now done and we're ready to install, but first off, let's go into... we can't go into About This Mac from here. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see if we can do it on the next screen of the installer. Pretty doubtful. We're just going to do an install macOS 10 because we've already erased the drive. Why can't we go into About This Mac then? That's interesting. Okay, we're not going to do language translations or additional fonts. We will do X11. We're not going to do printer drivers either because that's going to take forever. So let's do that. And it won't let me look at About This Mac now. Surely, no, it won't. So there we go. That's installing. We can always look at About This Mac in the next little part. So there we go. I shall leave this install and keep a close eye on it. And if anything crazy happens, anything with smoke, fireworks, or general destruction, I'll start a new clip so that you guys don't miss out on any of the action. Well, I'm not 100% sure what's happening now. Oh, perfect timing. Might as well absolutely blast it. So, for those of you who don't know, I've got this plugged into my home cinema system, and that was pretty brutally loud, actually. So, can't go wrong with a bit of the old Tiger intro. United Kingdom, do not transfer my information. British. Actually, do you know what? Yeah, continue. Wait, hang on. Quit. I'm pressing buttons again without knowing what I'm doing. I got overexcited by the intro. Let's boot her up once again. What am I doing? It's happening again. It's not quite the same second time round in such a short space of time, but I still love it. Goes again, folks. Okay, United Kingdom. What the hell was I doing a minute ago? I think I went a bit crazy because of the volume of that intro video. I've never heard it at that volume before. My computer does not connect to the internet at the moment, and we want to skip all of this like that. We're just going to call this for now Macintosh Mac, and we're not going to have a password unless it forces us to have one. No, it's not forcing us to have one. Okay, that's good. I like it. London, England, continue. Now normally when I sell these, oh, that's not right. Oh well. Normally when I set these up, I like to send them out, leaving them at the installers. So I'll show you guys what I'll do to that in a second to allow that to happen. But I want to jump in here just to show you guys the specifications and to do all of the system updates. Once I've done that, I'll reset the machine to factory so that it boots up with the intro video brand new for the next owner. So first off, let's get rid of the DVD, and then we'll check what version we're on. Unfortunately, I believe this version of Tiger is indeed 10.4.0, so just 10.4. Yes, it is. So we're going to need to install the update package. 256 megs of RAM, single 800 megahertz. Let's take a look at everything else here. Okay, so I forgot the name of the graphics card. The graphics card is the ATI Radeon 7500. So I was completely wrong with the GeForce thing. This is 32 megs of VRAM, so standard little card that comes with it. Let's have a look at disk burning. Let's have a look. It looks like it will... It looks like we have a super drive in here, folks. It says it will write these DVDs, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. It'll be damn cool if it does. Let's check we got internet connection, because software update seems to be having a bit of a freak out. If we have got internet connection... Oh, we haven't. It is not liking the internet at the moment. Okay, we finally have internet after wiggling the Ethernet cable. Now the Ethernet port appears to be a little bit dodgy, which is not fun at all. But I will monitor the scenario and see how it is. I know it's not my cable because I use this for the gaming PC and every system I put on the test bench here. And the connection, I can see it wibbling behind the casing of the Power Mac there. So I'll take a closer look at that after the software updates. But I'm going to be very gentle with this desk. Because I want the network to stay active throughout the software updates, obviously, because they will take quite a while to download on my connection. So I can get on with a few other things today while this is doing this, but I really do hope I still get enough time to clean this up and list it on eBay. If not, it's no big deal because I can do it tomorrow, but I would like to get this fully sorted today. Now, as you guys can see, we have a DVD player update, we have a Java update, and we have a combined macOS 10 update that will take us all the way up to 10.4.11. So that is very, very good. Or 10.4.11, should I say, which is the latest version of Tiger, as you guys know. So let's install all of this and let it all run. And of course, that has now confirmed that Tiger software update is still active, which is great, because Panther software update is no longer active. You can still download pretty much most of the software updates from the Apple website directly, but the pathways between software updating the OS and the download section is just not working at all. Software update will tell you you're fully up to date, but you're not. So I have taken the liberty of taking every single update file for Panther and backing it up on my server, just in case Apple are ever to take that lot down. Someone else has probably backed up absolutely everything out there, and it will be probably easy to get if Apple ever take it down, but I just want my own copies as well. So folks, I've gone through one set of software updates, and we have another set here that includes like QuickTime updates and security updates and stuff. There's always 2 or 3 run-throughs with Tiger here if you're coming from a really old version, so that's okay. All of this stuff is going quite quickly, to be honest. The update to the latest version of the OS didn't take too long at all. I have researched the optical drive, and it is indeed a DVD rewriter, which is fantastic. So it is an IDE super drive. Now, the reason why I didn't know if that was a thing, because I look at the model number here. It says Philips DVD-R, and then, you know, the 1628p one. When you see DVD-R, I never know whether that's standing for DVD read or DVD recorder. In this case, it's DVD recorder, and it probably is in loads of model numbers. I'm not that accustomed to learning model numbers of optical drives. You know, like, it's quite simple with Pioneer. Like, got the DVR 104, DVR 105. You know where you stand. But with these Philips drives, I have no idea And when I see DVD-R, I just assume it's DVD-R as in read, but I guess it's write, of course, because that makes sense. Because rewrite is RW. So, yeah. I don't know. It's whatever, guys. Whatever. It is what it is. I didn't have a clue about that drive, but now I know it's a DVD burner. So that is good. And we're installing software updates. So all is going well with this machine so far, and it's behaving itself magnificently. The hard drive seems nice and stable. And the third set of updates is nothing much, just Java and a Safari update. Pretty small. And I got a feeling there may be one more software update after this, but I'm not 100% sure. And of course we have one more Java update. Things aren't taking that long, so it's okay. Let's let it download and install this one. And, well, this one's less than 100 meg, so not too bad at all. And here we are, 4 Java downloads later, and we are up and running for all of our software updates. There is no more software updates that software update itself can detect. So that is good enough for me. And we've tested internet. Obviously internet's working. We've tested built-in audio. The system does go to sleep, which is good. Hang on a second, I didn't actually hear that. There we go. The system does go to sleep. The DVD drive works because we installed the operating system. The hard drive works because the system is booted up right now. The RAM is detected. To be perfectly honest, folks, if I go and dig out another stick of RAM now, it's going to take me ages to find the correct RAM upstairs because it's one hell of a mess. And it is not going to increase the value of this machine whatsoever on eBay because they're not worth that much at all at the moment. So as it stands, I think I'm going to leave it with 256 megs because you know what? That's good enough for me. I don't really care about much else. But what I am going to do now is take a few screenshots of the specifications of the machine ready for eBay, and then we will reset this to factory settings. So I can quite happily connect to my server to transfer these images over, which will be the easiest way. I can just select what disks I want to connect to, and that makes my life very, very easy. It's full Tiger compatibility for this sort of thing. I'll just sling them on the desktop for now, the 3 specification screenshots, and that is that done. So we can now go ahead and eject my server and get ready for resetting this system. So a little close up here on the commands that you need to type in to reset the system back to run the setup system when it first boots up. A little bit different in Tiger to what it is in modern OSs. I don't actually have Tiger documented because the tutorial I have saved in TextEdit works with a method of removing your user account as well, which changed in Leopard, I believe. So I can't actually run that command for Tiger because I don't know it, but I'm going to give this one a whirl and see if it works. Hopefully it does, and then I can restart the system and we'll see if it works together. But yeah, hopefully this will be okay. They'll just end up with the Macintosh account on here as well, but they can delete that or whatever, or they may not. I'm not even sure. It did change over the years with OS 10 versions, like I said, so we'll see how it goes. But we should be booting. I don't actually know what it's doing now. We'll see. Should boot straight into the intro video, I guess? Yes. Perfect. So it has indeed worked, folks, which is great. So once the intro video has ran through, something that I've recently learned is instead of force shutting down the machine at this point, you can actually press Command Q and shut down the system properly. So if I press shut down here, when we turn the system back on, it should run the intro video again properly, because that was still in single user mode. So let's take a little look at what we get when we power on now from a cold boot. I really hope this works, because as I say, I haven't got the 100% correct documentation for this on Tiger. I'm 100% certain on how to do it on Leopard and above, but it's just Tiger, not 100% sure. Moment of truth, let's take a look at what it does. Nice quick boot up, there we have it. It's running the intro video once again, so the brand new user will get the intro video and the setup assistant just as I wanted them to, which is great news. So yeah, I've done that, and everyone will be proud of me for doing it the proper way for once. And yes, I have to agree, I do feel more comfortable knowing that I've actually been into the OS myself and I know that everything works. So I can now take a photograph of the installer and say that's what you'll boot into on the eBay listing, and shut this machine down for the last time. So everyone, it's the next day. I ran out of time yesterday to clean this machine, and I would have never been able to clean this machine yesterday. Because it's taking me about 1,000,000 times longer than I thought it would. Now you can see some pretty intense products in front of me here. First off, we've got WD-40 oil. Next up we have a bottle of methylated spirits. Now first I tried cleaning it with just the methylated spirit, and it needed a shed ton of elbow grease. I avoided using oil to begin with because of the smell, so what I'm going to do now is use oil for the whole thing because it's working much better, and then use the meth to take away the smell of the oil. Even though this stuff doesn't smell great, it smells way less strong than this. And then once that's all done and dusted later on, after it's had time to air out a little bit, I'll go over the whole thing with just general surface cleaner to hopefully eliminate any further smells that are there as much as possible. Now if you come up, I should have done a before and after shot, but you can see here I've done this corner. There was tape marks coming all the way over here, and this corner is now done, looking brilliant. So what I'm going to do is do all of the grey paneling first and then worry about the handles, because I think the handles are going to be a bit more tricky. So as you can see over, let me just try and adjust you guys a little bit. There we go. Over here is the sort of stuff that I was getting off from the other side. It was like this but spread much more over. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this lot down here, and then also this lot here behind the bottle there. Do all of this, and then I'll show you this side panel once I've done it. I'm also going to try and see if I can get a few of these other little marks off, depending on how deep they are. And yeah, you'll be able to see the transformation then, but it is taking me quite a long time. So that is how the whole side panel is looking now, as you guys can see, ignoring the handles obviously because I haven't started on those yet. All of that is now gone. I tell you one thing, I've got to take a little break because it's really doing a number on my arm. The scrubbing force needed behind the cloth to get it off is unreal really. And this is just a note, you know, if you're going to pack a computer, it's not good to stick tape on it, really. It's really not good. And this particular parcel tape, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's the quality of the tape, or because it's on this type of plastic, or because of some temperature change at some point. I have no idea what it is, but it just won't unpeel. It's unpeeling the top layer, so the plastic of the tape itself, and then leaving all of its glue. And that's what you see, well, that's what you saw before I cleaned it on here. Now, unfortunately, the scratches are all actually proper scratches. Which is a shame. I've gone over them a little bit, and if anything made them worse because they now stand out more because it's cleaner. So we got quite a few marks along here, all scratches everywhere really. It's probably one of the worst condition Power Mac side panels that I've seen. And yeah, let's take a look at the other side. I can't remember. I think the other side is a little bit better from memory. Let's take a look. Ah yes, this side is much better, folks, much better. As you guys can see, huge lot of tape glue here. There's no tape on here, guys. This is just tape glue. So I'm obviously going to have to attack this over here. Little bit of glue there, that's okay. And there's the odd scratches, a sort of biggish scratch here. The Apple logo looks much better on this side. But yeah, wow. Okay, fair enough. I think I'm going to do this now and then take a break before I do the handles, and then I need to go over the whole thing in methylated spirits because it stinks to high heavens at the moment. As you guys can see, that is it for the tape marks on that side. I forgot to do that bit. That'll be okay. That appears to be different tape. Yeah, apart from that bit, the tape marks are gone. There are now some smudge marks, oily marks, but that'll all come off when I go over the whole machine. I'm really not looking forward to doing the handles because these surfaces are hard enough, and the handles are much more curved and much smaller surface area, so difficult to get a good flow going. And yeah, I just considering the amount that these machines are worth, it makes me think, is it worth it me sitting here scrubbing this for the best part of the afternoon? But I don't want to sell something that looks like crap, and you know, it will bring in a little bit of money. These sell for £30–40, and hopefully someone will enjoy it. So I've just got to keep thinking that and keep going. And I've got to this point, you know, I've spent a lot of time restoring the system and making sure it all works, so I might as well go the whole hog. But yeah, this machine is definitely consuming more time than I initially thought it would. But onwards and upwards, let's continue. That is all I'm doing, folks. That is how it's going to be. All the tape is off the side panels, and I've given the whole thing a wipe over with the standard, you know, antibacterial spray stuff, so the smell of oil is gone. I've given the top a nice wipe over, just waiting for the machine to dry now. Yeah, it smells fine. I'm going to give it then a bit of a dry wipe, maybe with a cloth I haven't used or something, I don't know. But yeah, I'm giving up on the handles. I started the back one. It took me ages. There was basically a clump of tape glue like this there. As you can see, it's gone, but it's cloudy as hell. And trying to get that cloudy, murky stuff off now is a nightmare. So it is staying like that. I'll take photos. I'll mention it in the description and say I just didn't have time to clean, you know, the whole system, and there we are. People, God knows if it's going to sell like that. It's really, really awful looking tape, but maybe it just bothers me. Maybe it won't bother some people, I don't know. Or maybe people think, you know, other people have got some better cleaning methods or something. But yeah, that really did my Swede in. It really did. And it makes me think that I'm going to get a supply in of some proper cleaning stuff for this kind of thing. Definitely when I move and I start to, you know, get machines in and sell them more regularly, I'll want to be able to clean them up properly. But this is not worth my time and effort right now, so just going to wait for this to dry, and then we're going to test it one more time, just because I've moved the machine around so much and I've wriggled it around trying to clean it and stuff. We're going to test it one more time, and then that'll be us finished. So here we are, everyone. I've given this machine my all over the past couple of days. I really should not have spent this much time on it, but it did end up sucking a load of time. So let's see if it still works. I've got it hooked up to just the display, so let's take a look. There's the bong from the internal speaker. Good little test of the internal speaker, actually. I hadn't tested that because I had external speakers connected. But yeah, this will be listed on eBay later. I'll do it later today. I'm going to have 2 minutes away from this machine first and do something else. But this will be listed today, and of course by the time you're seeing this video it will have been listed for a few days, so I will put the link in the video description in case anyone is interested in buying this machine. But here it is booting up, and it should go straight into the intro video. We will double check that it does. macOS 10, as you can see, nice and speedy on the old boot up there. And there it is. Perfect. So this machine is still working fantastically. I want to thank you all very much for watching. Apologies for the slightly longer video for such a simple process, but you know computers, it never goes quite as smoothly as you think it's going to. So big thank you guys. I will see you in the next video. Oh, bloody. Ah. Please connect to people. Hey. Oh. Freaking mouse as well. Thank you.